Hey, everybody. It is Thursday. Happy Thursday. Hope you're doing well wherever you are. Hope you are safe. Hope you are feeling joy today. I hope that you are looking forward to enjoying some art streaming. And if you have anything that you would like to chat about, feel free to keep it friendly in the chat, and I'm more than happy to chat along with you. We had some nice conversation in the last stream, and hopefully we can keep that rolling today. I'm going to keep painting this bison today. Um, Not sure if I'll be able to finish it, maybe, with the time that we have together. Um, but even if we don't, I'm going to keep making some headway with it. And just thankful for this opportunity to do this. It's crazy how blessed I am in this situation to be able to take time to sit down and keep pursuing what I love and being able to share it instantaneously with so many other people in different parts of the country and the world. And yeah, it's just really special. I'm really, really grateful to have Twitch and YouTube as vehicles to be able to do that. So just feeling grateful, feeling appreciative, feeling lots of joy and gratitude today. So um, that's where I'm at. Hopefully, you're in a pleasant place too. All right. Well, I'll just dive in. And like I said, if you have things that you want to talk about, feel free to do it. I find that I struggle to keep talking while I paint, not because I can't, but because I kind of just run out of things that I can think of to say. It's not it's not something I'm very gifted at. Is thinking about lots of things to say. So let's see here. I'm gonna pull up my reference again, and just pull it off the other page here. Well, I have permission to use the reference I'm using. I don't want to inadvertently share that with other people because I did pay for it. Let's see here. Which one is it? I think it's that one. Yep. Yep, that's the one. Okay, I can minimize that. And we'll just zoom in. Perfect. Okay. And how does this brush look? Let's grab kind of a lighter color here. It's a little too chalky. I want to switch it up and choose a different brush than what I had before. Maybe the Pastel C? No, it's got that grain I don't like. Is there a... I could try the smooth pastel. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Rough drawing? What happens when I make that bigger? Oh, it stays the same. Um, let's see here. Let's go back. Let's do the... It's a little too flat. You know what? I'll just go back to the oil paintbrush. That was working. That's where it's gonna be. Yeah, it's better. And as I paint the hair, I just try to go loosely and lightly, try to make it random. I don't want it to be, the last thing I want is for it to look like a bunch of lines that looks like a tally. It doesn't look like hair. And hair is funny because as it reaches different quadrants, it starts to do different things. Hair tends to grow in particular patches, so the direction and flow of the hair will change from subject to subject and from area of the body to different area of the body. So, and if you have a fair amount of hair or hair that you brush, you probably have already kind of recognized this about your own hair. That's why it's usually not advisable for most people to cut their own hair because you can't get a good look at the different sections to it. And sometimes some will be longer than others. And anyway, enough of the rambling there. Tonight's Spotify playlist that I'm listening to is one that I've curated, and it contains lots of different soundtrack music that's um, soundscape in style, as well as some uh, Celtic music. Um, if you're curious about which Celtic music in particular, it's called Celtic Odyssey. It's one of my father's uh, most played albums when I was growing up. He would be in his studio and I would watch him paint and draw, and he had this one playing a lot. So on Spotify, they have most of the songs from the CD, um, but they don't have all of them. And a couple of them, if you go to the playlist where it shows it, or the album that's available, it's not 100% accurate. Some of the songs on the playlist are they're just not right. And some of them have been changed or left out, either due to copyright reasons or whatever. So, um, anyway, after my dad passed away, um, that's something that I was able to keep as a keepsake and remembrance of him. And I mean, most of the time it's easier for me to just listen on Spotify, but it's nice to have the CD. And like I said before, the hair I'm doing is, you know, loose and rough. Trying to just keep it spontaneous. And you'll notice that when you have that contrast of the light over the dark, it really looks like something is hitting it or that it's sticking out farther than what it's in front of. So it's really interesting to see what light does to our perception. Even just little details like this look almost like they have depth just because they're on top of a dark background. Now, without context, it would just really look like a bunch of scribbles on a dark background, but because we see the varying shades and shape of the bison as a whole, those lines give more illusion of depth. Context is very important. You need to know what you're looking at in order to get that sense of depth sometimes. That's not true in all cases. I've had exercises that I've done in college in the past, when I was in college. That might be a little too hot. That did this kind of a thing, but with completely abstract shapes, and you could definitely fall for that illusion of depth in there. It's an illusion because we're not actually creating anything with real depth. Everything we're doing here is completely flat. I'm just drawing pixels on a screen. But the way that you compose those pixels is really what ultimately leads to having that illusion of depth. Something that's not really there, but you feel it. And yeah, even this warmer hair color up here, at first I thought it was too much, but now that I'm placing it on, it's actually adding even more of that depth that I was mentioning. So go ahead and put some of that on here. You can have a lot of it trail off. It's fine. Still want to maintain that sense of looseness and spontaneity. And while it's not like this in the reference, because I like that contrast of the light so much, I've decided to include it here on the face and see just kind of what I can come up with. It's going to be a bit hotter and more concentrated up here in the front. And something I use is up over in the top right corner. You can't see it, but the program I use creates a tiny navigator window so I can see what this picture looks like very zoomed out so that it's quite small. And it helps to gauge the readability of the image, to see, what is working, what's clear, what's not. Because if it's not something that's clear when zoomed out, there's a chance that it's not going to be clear on the full size image either. It becomes very easy to overlook certain aspects of a painting while you're painting, right when you're in the thick of it. And so having a navigator window like that is really helpful. Make sure you stay on track. And look how much light that starts adding. It's like a sunset kind of light. I'm liking it. The rejected McDonald's catchphrase. I'm liking it. Make some of these hairs down here stand out a little bit. Something I'm discovering about myself is that as I've learned to paint and improved my skills, I've also become somewhat too dependent on um, reference material. Reference is great and very, very helpful, but at the same time, it can also be a bit of a crutch. And the problem comes in when I start painting and I can't work without it. I think that takes away a lot of the enjoyment because, you'll have an idea, or I'll have an idea in my head and I'll go to do something in paint only to realize I can't quite get out what I wanted to. And I kind of feel like that's the big uh, grab for AI is people not being able to draw the way they would like, uh, in terms of the ideas that they have, and so they use the what's the path of least resistance? What's the easiest thing? Having a computer do it instantaneously for me without any effort. Oh, maybe there's some effort in trying to come up with a creative sentence or two, using the exact right description, or trying the same description 7 times to see what results it spits out randomly. But in the end, it's not really yours, is it? If a computer is pumping it out, it's like a director telling the actor, perform this or say this line this way, and then claiming the acting skill for themselves and saying, well, I told them to do it that way, so it's really my performance. That's not how it works. So I think when we rely on machines to completely take over the artistic process for us, we rob ourselves of the joy of exploration. We rob ourselves of the opportunity to stretch our minds, and we also rob ourselves the chance to really claim it and know that it's ours. And the problem with AI is that, well, one of the problems with AI is that it learns based on what it sees. And yes, we as artists do the same, but it does it in a different way where we understand it on a deeper level, an intellectual level, whereas a computer is treating it more like a fax machine, where it's taking that information and compiling it and redistributing it in a new format, right? You have the original document of something that you've signed, and then you stick it in a fax machine and send it off somewhere else, And now what you have on the other end is a facsimile, an imitation of what that original document looks like. Yes, it's nearly identical, but it's not the original. And with AI, that's exactly what we're doing. We're taking the work and time and effort of other artists who have worked hard to compose an image and create something that's uniquely theirs after all their learning and skill and practice, and having a computer instantly spit it out and say, well, it's different enough. I don't feel right about that. So I have a lot of problem with the way people use AI. I have a problem with AI in general. I'm not a big fan of it. I think when we start relying too much on computers to do everything for us, we start to lose what makes us uniquely human. Where do we draw the line? And when we draw that line, what happens when we push it again and push it again? Where did it start and where has it gone? In just a short matter of time, things with AI have changed so much. It's it's amazing to see just how capable those machines have become, but at the same time, it's kind of like what the world was like before Google, where if we didn't know the answer to a question, we had to go out and research it, maybe ask other people, maybe go to a library and dig out information. Sometimes that information didn't exist where we looked for it, and so maybe we had to guess or experiment and try to find that information. But there's a whole process of effort and discovery that gets lost when we have those answers instantaneously handed to us by typing them into a search engine. Are search engines bad? No. They increase efficiency. That's the same argument that you can make for AI, right? That it increases efficiency. But with something as human as art, why would you want a machine to take that away from you? Right? That's how I feel anyway. You may feel differently. That's totally fine. If you feel differently, or if you agree with me, you can let me know in the chat. Comment on the video if you're watching after the fact. But I think it's just a problem with humanity's need to make things more efficient all the time, is that we give up our humanity just a little bit every single time. Sometimes those leaps and bounds are much greater, depending on what the invention is. And there's definitely benefits to things, right? You talk about using AI for coming up with concept art for a production. You know what the idea is in your head, and you're looking for the machine to spit it out quick, right? Maybe you're pressed for time. Maybe you really need to get that concept out as soon as possible. You just can't wait. And so you resort to AI to get it done. Is it going to be as unique, as original, as special as an artist's rendering of it? No. Will it be what you saw in your head? Probably not. But will it be close? Probably. Will it be enough to get you where you want to go? Probably. But is it worth the compromise? Is it worth losing that human touch? And will audiences who look at whatever you're doing with the AI ultimately, deep down inside, or maybe even very obviously, notice that, hey, there's something off about that? There's something different. There's something missing. I think so. Anytime you watch AI used in productions on television or the internet, many times people can tell right away that something's different about it. And not in a, wow, that's amazing kind of a way, but something's not right. There's that little voice inside that points it out and says, "Hey, that's weird there. I can't put my finger on it maybe, but there's something not right about it." Anyway, that's my uh that's my AI rant for today. What else can I rant about? No more ranting, please make it stop. Okay. I wonder if I should change the background color. Maybe I can add something to it to make it a little more interesting. Maybe we can do like a soft. This will give it kind of an airbrush feel, I think. And if I go, let's do something kind of dark first. So go something down here maybe. And make it down at the bottom. Right, so got that. And then I can go even darker. Something like that. And then come back in with that warm glow. I'll go ahead and maybe put a little bit of that warm glow in here. I mean, that's kind of it. Go ahead and add some new color on top. Oh, let's move that layer to the top. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and delete that layer. And now that I can see, Hello. Thanks for watching. Hope you're having a good day. Playing around with this one. Hmm. I think I might put this one down for a second. Save. And let's see. Let's go to open. Is there another one in here that I didn't finish? There's plenty I didn't finish. Is there one I want to work on right now? Hmm. Done with those. Done with that. Mhm. Let's see. Hmm. Check out my pictures. Do do do. It's kind of interesting. But he's very gray, and the image is a little blurry. Let's see. Rhinos, giraffes. The giraffe might be interesting. especially with the shadows and the contrast in the color versus the light. We'll do a giraffe. Let's see if I can find a really decent picture here. Oh. Okay, why is it not letting me? Oh, because I wasn't grabbing it. Right, you can help me pick. So we got this one. This one's clear. That one and that one are clear. Mouth open is kind of nice. And I have these where he's more in shadow. That's one where he's got his head down. It's kind of interesting. I think the challenge I'm going to give myself now is how quickly can I get out a sketch of this thing? Maybe this one. He's emoting a really interesting expression. All right, we'll pick this one. So I've got this one saved. I'll leave it there for now. Gonna do a new canvas and maybe keep it the 30 by 20. Yeah, that's fine. And then let's see, back up to the oil paint and grab a dark color. We'll see what size that is. Kind of thick. Maybe just a little down. It's better, I think. Okay, so let's do this. All right, as quick as I can, I'm gonna sketch out the giraffe we just looked at. And time starts now. I'm overthinking it. Just gotta go. Overthinking it again. Got the bridge of the nose. We got the eye comes down. Eye comes down to here ish. Down there. And then this curves up that way. That nose comes this way. We got the nostril. Get the other nostril over here. jaw. And at this stage, I don't care if I'm very sketchy or not. It's just all about getting in that clearest picture there. So if this eye is over here, and this eye is going to be over here, like this. And it's going to swoop up that way. This jaw comes up back here. Curves that way. Then we get the brow, or the bridge of the nose. We got some wrinkles here. Kind of go up in here. And then we have the ear. Comes off of this bump. Swoops down. Comes out this way. And it's more or less in line with this. Comes out and swoops back down. Curves up. We've got the wrinkled connection there. This swoops up this way, cuts over, and then we get this. And then we have this area here that's lighter. And then we have this area here that's catching light, along with this area here. Like that. The rest of it is in shadow. We have that separation here. We've got some fuzz. Got this going on, comes down this way. And then we have this, change that bump. There we go. And then we have the hair on the back of the neck. And then we have the different shapes. Once again, not trying to be perfect, mostly just getting the shapes in. Got one there, got one there, that. Okay. And then a little bit under there, and there. And then here, here, got a big one there, little one there. More going off this way. Off to that jaw, and then kind of cascading down over here. Need a little more gap. That and that. There we go. And we got some coming off the bottom. tufts. And lots of different little speckles up in here. Okay. Terrible scribble, but it accomplishes the getting it out. And so what I tend to like to do next is add a layer, drag it beneath, and I start thinking about, okay, what are the main colors here? If I were to squint, what colors do I see in the reference? And so leaning back a little more toward the yellow and the cream, like this color here. Bring this in. At least majoritively in this area where I drew it out. Okay, and then along the top there, and here, right, down over the ear, down this way. And a lot of the muzzle area over here has this lighter color. I'll just keep adding it on until it starts to fade up into this area. There's touches of it through here, just touches, even up through here. And then we have that bright area up at the front. I'm going to put this in here for now, but I'm going to definitely come at it with some warmer colors later. Get the teeth area too. Other side of the mouth, and the front of that jaw. And then even along the back of the neck over here, there's a little bit of that lighter color. Okay, so now we're going to go lean more toward the orange. I'm going to grab that color there. See how this looks. Yeah, this is about right. So we're just going to lay this in. Without being too careful. And this is still part of the speed that I'm going for here. Just trying to get this idea out as quick as I can. Got a little bit of hair on the back. Got more of that warm color up in here. And over here. Good, good, good. A little bit of it over here. And a little bit around the mouth. Just a little bit up in this area. Keeping it light, keeping it smooth. Allowing the colors to kind of blend together. A little bit on the front. Just a touch through here. And a little bit back over here. Just touches of it on the bridge. Okay. Now we go for the grayish color. Grayish color is darker. Covers a fair amount of this face. And it definitely blends with a lot. Mixing some of that in here. Get a little bit up over on this side. And then definitely back over here. And back over this way. On the front. On the bottom. Got some under the neck here. And as we move back over this way, stretches a little bit into there. Definitely gets some of the inside of this ear. And around the edge of the ear here. And then the back of that head. Okay. We're going to go just very gently and a little randomly brush through here. Okay. And now we can come in with a darker color. Shift it just a little bit cooler. And we can get some of those darker features taken care of. And we can watch as this starts to look like it's got a little more volume to it. Really having that contrasting lighting goes a long way in creating that illusion, like I talked about at the beginning. Get some of that at the top. On this side too. Start. Now we can start filling in some of those spots. I'll come back for the little ones. And once again, I'm not being overly perfect here. It's about speed, not about perfection. I find if I'm going fast and not slowing down, then I don't really give myself the opportunity to overthink it, which is really helpful for me personally, because I am definitely one that likes to over-criticize my own work. And by likes to, I don't mean that I actually enjoy it. I just mean that that's what I'm prone to. Prone to do. I look at it and I go, oh, that stinks. So I'm not giving myself a chance to do that this time. Darken up a little bit of that, a little bit of this, and some of this. And then shrink it down. Get some of these little guys. Got a lot of little spots up in this way. Simplify, simplify. All right. And then we go for something even darker. Let me start adding it into some of the edges of the spots, just kind of sporadically. Randomly. Trying to add that in. Get this ear canal a little darker. Like so. All right. Got this. that I've got those basic colors down, now I can come on top. I can lower the opacity of the sketch. And I can start refining. Oop, accidentally clicked out of my reference. There we go. Okay. And let's see. If I get rid of that sketch layer, how am I looking? I'm looking okay. Good. Let's get some of that lighter color in there. getting there, getting there. And like I said, I'm trying to go as quickly as I can. Let's fill this background with let's go for a dark, well, kind of a mid-dark green. That. I think that works. And then on top of that, we'll add some warmer, bright green. Keep the same. Well, maybe change the brush. Let's go to a different brush. We'll go to the soft. Whoop. Okay. No overthinking. Let's go warmer. Just have to keep telling myself no overthinking. Not allowed. Thank you, Noxardet. I'm trying to do this quick and loose so that I don't overthink it. that's at least the sketchy end of things. Um, so not too shabby. What I then do from this stage is I go back in and I start refining some details and adding shadow and light and other stuff like that. So if I were to change this to a multiply layer, lower the opacity, I'd grab a soft brush, like an airbrush style, and I'd go in with a blue, and I would grab some of the areas like here, on this side, to help illustrate depth. Just being subtle with it. Definitely don't want to overdo the shadows. And then come back in with overlay and do the same kind of a thing, but with warmer colors this time. And you just go over the areas you want the light to be bright. Make it look like it's actually catching some glow, some of that warmth in there. Just to give it a warm sensation. Warmth up in here, under the lip of the ear, along some of this, and some of that. Thank you, KK. And this is probably where I'm going to end it for today. Been going for a while now. Thank you for tuning in, for being here. I appreciate it. If you like my stuff, make sure you like and subscribe to my channel. I go live on Monday and Thursday evenings, 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And I also have a shop. If you go to jwkcreates.com, you can see the different products I have available, my photography prints and my art prints. Feel free to check them out. If you like my style and you'd like me to do a commission for you, you can check that out at Etsy. I have a page on Etsy, and if you want to find me, you do the same thing, JWK Creates, but don't forget the LLC. Someone nabbed JWK Creates before I could make it, so don't forget the LLC on the end. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you. May your day be blessed, and may God be with you. Take care, everybody. Be safe and filled with joy in Jesus' name. Bye-bye.